Manyoli kunshobera. Last time I bought a phone, it died in 3 days. You were here looking. I told you, give me time, I get a quality phone. Really, is that too long to wait? Hey, neighbor, you are at it again. Every time you tell us we are the Miayu, I always told you, the better things are with us. That guy is fake. Nze, you give me his number. I will take him to Edgar Communications.
Yes, gadgets are now inevitably needed in your day-to-day life. Use any chance to grab some for yourself. For Western Uganda and beyond, the only trusted electronics shop is Edgar Communications.
Welcome to Eyit Communications Mbalala. So we sell phones, specifically Techno, Infinix, Itel, Nokia, Samsung. We have smartphones, we have also button phones. Then we sell TVs, Hisense, LG, Star X. Then we have hoofers, Alip, Jag, and others.
For these and more appliances and accessories, reach them at their shop located in Barara City opposite Shell and Kore, or call them now on 0701 467426 or 0785 356453.
By the way, I wanted to ask you, PC wajijao. Man, the thing is like so good. Omanyi, I no longer have the other issues. Kadi kuna kugambira. You were saying, I told you, these things you have to get from the people you trust. You see that one I gave you, I got it from Think Innovation. Those guys, even now, that's where I am. I brought mine for service. These guys are so good.
Oh yes, that's true. The only trusted one-stop center for computer solutions in Western Uganda is Think Innovation. Regional leading providers of friendly computers and laptop sales and computer accessories. A hub of specialists in computer repair and maintenance, based at computer training and software installation. Could you be in need of these and more computer services? Reach out to them now at their workshop located in Barara, Bananuka Drive, Western Arcade Building, Room AF51, or call them now for instant services via 0753 975042 or 0789 708838.
Welcome to Eyit Sports. We welcome you, each one of you that has taken time to tune in to your number one sports show. My name is Elioda and Mesut, and the show is called Sports Center. You can follow us on our various social media platforms using Twitter at EyitTV. The hashtag is Eyit Sports. The same applies to Facebook. We are at EyitTV, and then on YouTube we are at EyitTV. We are glad you're still tuned in to your number one sports show. Thank you for making time to push us. Thank you for being involved in any way possible. People who reach out to me in person, in my private mails and social media platforms at Elioda and Mesut, saying thank you. I return your thank you as well. Today, this marks our final day of our sports show this week. Remember, our show runs from Monday to Thursday, that is from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So today marks the package of the week. So there are so many stories to look up today. One of them including the Stanbic Uganda Cup The draws were held today at Fufa House in Mengo. We will be digging into that and tell you who your team will face in the round of 16. Away from that, we have news from athletics. Our very own Joshua Keptegei pledges to make us proud again in the forthcoming competition, as he did early last year in Valencia. Then away from that, the saga at FUFA every other day piles. The saga at FUFA every other day piles. One of them being the FUFA presidential race that looks to be in the three hands of people, one of them being Haji Mujibu Kasure, then the incumbent Hasim Moses Magogo, as well as Musajawa Wino Alan Sewanyana, who is the president at Katwe United. They still tabled their bids on who to become the president. And away from that, still in FUFA, we looked at resignation of key players, one of them including Dennis Onyango, Hassan Waswa and Mike Azira. So today we woke up to some other news whereby the ex-player Mutiaba has petitioned Moses Hasim Magogo in particular, and then FUFA as well. He has petitioned them in the State House anti-corruption. We will be digging into that and give you all the details. All you have to do is keep rocked in here at Eyit TV Sports. My name is Elioda and Mesut, and the sports show is called Sports Center, hashtag at Eyit Sports. Then away from that, we will talk about World Cup qualifiers. Uganda Cranes, or Uganda as a country, had been given an opportunity to host the upcoming World Cup qualifiers, but from the look of things, the stories could have changed because the issue has now come out with where to host these competitions from. Nambole Stadium is in was banned last year in May by the by the world governing football bodies, that is CAF and FIFA. And then away from that, we will talk about the Star Times Premier League. We are reviewing what transpired yesterday. KCCA survived its sixth loss of the competition. One of the big losses being one of Sam Simga's boys, called them URA, or Uganda Revenue Authority, who yesterday failed to top up the table after going a goalless draw with Sports Club Vira at Bombo Barracks. Then KCCA yesterday still also failed to fetch maximum points against Mbara City. That means for the last 4 games these two teams have faced each other, KCCA FC has registered 3 draws and 1 loss. So the unbeaten run of Mbara City FC at Kacheka Stadium against the Kasasiro boys has counted one more time. Then away from that, we will talk about Formula 1. Over the weekend we had Formula 1 action, and we will dig deep into that. And then we have Premier League review of what transpired last night, as Manchester City extended their lead on the Premier League table after securing a 2-1 win against Aston Villa. Then, as we close up the show, we will still dig deep into Europa Super League, because 9 out of the 12 clubs that formerly had shown interests of taking part in the very competition have formally and legally withdrawn. Only 3 teams, including Real Madrid, Barcelona and Juventus, are the only 3 clubs in the competition. So we have different takes from Pep Guardiola. We have different takes from the anticipated president, that is the Real Madrid club president, Florentino Perez. So that is so much and more to look up to. So right about now we cross to Stanbic Uganda Cup draws. The draws were held today, calling in for the round of 16. And today the draws took place at Mengo at Fufa House, and they were presided over by the Uganda Cranes player Andrew Ray, together with the FUFA marketing director Esther Musoke. And at the end of the day, draws were drawn, and the Stanbic Uganda Premier Uganda Cup, the draws will run between 1st and 6th May 2021. About the draws, we look up to Premier League teams facing off each other. One of them being Express. Express will be taking on URAFC. that is Premier League affair. Then we will have different draws. So from the draws today, as I remind you of how the teams made it here, the fixtures were confirmed today, as earlier said, by Ugandan Cranes player Andrew Lay, together with the FIFA marketing director Esther Musoke at FIFA House in Mengo. And at the end of the day, Case Express FC will take on URA. To remind you, Express ejected Chetume in the recent round on a 3-2 goal aggregate. This transpired after a 2-2 draw in the first leg between Express and Chetume, only for the Red Eagles to overturn result when they beat up Chetume by 1 goal to nil at Wankulukuku. So that's how Express made its way to the round of 16, while URA eliminated the Ankole Lions, called the Mbarara City, following a 0-0 draw in Ndeje that was in the first leg. URA FC happened to knock out Mbarara City FC at their home grounds in Kacheka after calling on a 1-0 loss at Kacheka Stadium in Mbarara. So the draw, from the look of things, the draw looks somehow fair for Express, who registered a double over URA in the ongoing domestic league, that is 2020-2021 season, after a 1-0 draw and then a 3-1 draw, and those were away and home victories at the Arena of Visions and Mutesa 2 Stadium. So URA will be taking on Express, which looks somehow a better draw for Express, that have in the domestic league edged URA on home and away. Elsewhere, the Ugandan Cup holders, Proline FC, will have another first leg at home for the second consecutive time. That is, the Lugogo-based side will now take on the Lugogo side after cruising a 4-1 against Maida, to call them Maraba Youth Development Association, on a 5-4 aggregate win, having scored about 82 goals so far in the 30 games, with just one game in deciding penalty kick. So Proline has also been drawn against Mbare Heroes. So to look or to give you the whole content about how the draws transpired today, we will have UPDF taking on St. Mary's Chitende Boys, that is Vipers FC. The first leg will be at the home of UPDF, that is UPDF will take on Vipers, while Proline will host Mbare Heroes. Proline with its proprietor Hajib Kasule, who is contesting in for the FIFA presidential seat. His team will be taking on Mbare Heroes, while on the Parakat Greenlight Stadium will be hosting some Simgas Boys, that is Sports Club Villa, while the other side, Wakiso Giants will take on Tolo United. Then Police FC, Hassan Kasinje's Police FC will take on Sorito Blight Stars, and Express will face off with the tax collectors, who are Uganda Revenue Authority. Then the other side, Bull FC will be taking on our very own homeboys, called them Chitara or Chige's homeboys. And then the final draw of the FUFA of the Stanbic Uganda Cup. Today the final draw is Maroons will be taking on KCCFC. So all that and more, we pledge to keep you posted. About what will be transpiring. So UPDF will have its first match that will be at their own home, that is in Bombo Military Ground. Then Proline will be at MTN Omondi Stadium, and then Maroons will be hosting KCCA at Prisons Stadium, that is in Rizila. Then first and second legs will be played between 1st and 6th May, and then second leg will return. First and second legs will actually be played in that very week between 1st and 6th May. For starters, Stanbic Uganda Cup is that one recognized National League Cup that Uganda as a nation looks up to, and they are played by non-league sides that have registered in the 5 divisions of football of this very country. That is Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, 4, and Division 5. The winners of this very competition, call it the Stanbic Uganda Cup. The winners of Stanbic Uganda Cup go on to represent Uganda in the CAF Confederations Cup, as well as the Sekafa Nile Basin Cup Winners' Cup. The Sekafa Nile Winners' Cup, as well as CAF Confederations Cup. That's where the winners of this very competition push our country to. Then the defending champions, they are Mujibu Kasule's boys, that is Prola in FC, and they have got a better run in the just concluded round, having one of the recent ones being after edging Maida 4-1, where we saw Thierry Adfasari, a son to Bebe Cool, putting up a very good performance, and that made noise over the platform. So that is it. And then KCCA and Express are the record holders. The two of them tie at 10 trophies, and then Express rather it's KCCA and Express that are the tie of 10 titles, followed by Sports Club Vira, who have 9 trophies. So we'll keep you posted. Keep your hands on your Terry, on the tab, on the internet, on the phone, on the laptop. Follow Eyit TV, follow Elioda and Mesut in particular. We will basically keep you informed. Then away from that, we cross to athletics, whereby Uganda's long distance runner, that is Joshua Cheptegei, has pledged that he is ready and working around the clock to make Uganda proud again in the forthcoming Tokyo Olympic events that are happening later this year. And he will be facing off with one of the favorite, or one of the big names, that is Mo Farah, in the forthcoming of 10,000 kilometers at Tokyo Olympics. Then the 24-year-old, our very own Joshua Cheptegei, those names, Joshua Cheptegei, our very own 24-year-old, currently he owns the world record over the same distance, having broken it early last year. That was in Valencia, where he ran about 26 minutes and 11 seconds, beating a 15-year-old record of Kenneth Bakere by just 6 seconds. So we look up to that, and we will basically keep you informed. And then to remind you that the Olympics will begin on July 23rd, and our very own Cheptegei is so ready to bound the battle for the 4-time Olympic champion, Mo Farah. Mo Farah is a big name here, being a 4-time Olympic champion. So we will have the two locking horns together. Then this happens after the post-monument, because every other game, just like the economy, was hit by COVID-19 pandemic. So these games have just been postponed to 30th July in 2021. So you realize we have about 3 months or less for Joshua Cheptegei to ready himself up to go and battle it up with the 4-time Olympic champion, Mo Farah. So speaking through his various social media platforms, Joshua Cheptegei came on Twitter and tweeted that this was actually yesterday's tweet. He tweeted that today marks 100 days until the start of 10,000 meters at the Olympics in Tokyo, and he added up saying that he is already looking forward. He's already looking forward to this very big goal. He pledged to keep working hard in the next few months, so that he makes Uganda proud. Then reminding you of his records, Joshua Cheptegei has so far collected 10,000 meters gold. That was in 2014 at the World Junior Championships, as well as in 2015 at African Junior Championships. 2018 he went ahead for the Commonwealth Games and did us so well. He represented us so well at 2018 Commonwealth Games, before adding up a 2019 Doha World Championships and the silver at the 2017 World Championship. So that is what is happening in the world of athletics. Joshua Cheptegei, our 24-year-old, promising that he will make Uganda proud one more time. Then away from the athletics, we cross to Mengo, where the Heat every other day piles. the Heat every other day that passes comes with much more fire and sparkles after a saga at FUFA. One of them, we had the resignation. Before actually the resignation, we had Hassim Moses Magogo coming out to address the press conference, and he pointed out how individual players were putting out a very horrific performance, and they didn't look up to that, but rather asked for more bonuses. So Magogo was very brutal and straight, throwing fire into the face of Uganda Cranes players, which the players didn't take in so well. We ended up seeing about 3 players, including Dennis Onyango, Hassan Waswa, and Michael Azira, throwing a towel in the National Duty Service. So still today we woke up to the news that the ex-Cranes player Mutiaba came out to drag Magogo to State House Anti-Corruption Unit. According to the former Ugandan Cranes and the former Ugandan Cranes and the Tip Mazembe player Mutiaba came out and said that State House Anti-Corruption Unit and is she right, Honorable Judith Nakarema, that she should come into to account about how Hassim Moses Magogo has come out to spend the funds that are meant to facilitate the ongoing and the prayers facilitation, including where they have been moving to represent Uganda in different occasions, the AFCON, the CHAN. So according to Mutiaba, he said the football governing body under Magogo has diverted public funds and exercised discrimination and abused office, which he says it is contrary to the sections 2, 6, and 11 of the Anti-Corruption Unit of 2009. Recently, all this come out after FUFA of recent had published a list of Ugandan players showing their monthly payments and some other payments of their bank accounts, and to the publication that was on, I think, about 3-4 days ago, the list read that about almost each player received about 1 million each, starting from the 1st of July 2018 to March 2020. However, in Mike Mutiaba's letter to the Anti-Corruption Unit to Lieutenant Colonel Judith Nakarema, and Mike Mutiaba says that is all hoax, that he never received money. All this happened while he was addressing a press conference at his office, that is in Kamocha. Mike Mutiaba came out and said, much as the risks shows that he was given over 20 millions, he says that is not true, and he has tasked FUFA that if this is true, that he received about 12 millions, FUFA should rather come out with evidence rather than publicizing what he says that is hoax. Then in addition, he came out and said the prayer said that FUFA owes players payments for the 4 consecutive games, which includes the 2,000 US dollars to each player who participated in Uganda versus Mali, that was in 2017 in Africa Cup of Nations, as well as the 1,000 US dollars that were selected to be given to each player, that was in Uganda versus Tanzania, that was in September 2018, as well as 1,500 US dollars that the player says that the 1,500 US dollars, according to Mike Mutiaba, he says they were selected to be given to each player who participated in Congo Brazzaville versus Uganda, that was in 2018, and more money that was still selected to each player who participated in Africa National Championships, that is call it CHAN qualifiers. So through his lawyer Henry Biansi, the ex-player's lawyer says that from the Center for Legal Aid, he says he was approached by ex-Ugandan player to help him in the struggle to clean the dirty works done by FUFA under the leadership of Magogo. So, and the lawyer went on to applaud Mike Mutiawa for taking a bold decision against FUFA and Magogo in particular, and he has urged the government to avail an independent commission of inquiry into the affairs of football, that is to the football governing body FUFA, especially to investigate Magogo, claiming that several players have had complaints against him, only that it's him, Mike Mutiawa, that has come out to unveil the dissatisfaction that he has derived from FUFA and the FUFA president Moses Magogo. So all this come out after of late we saw Mike Mutiawa, the very ex-Ugandan player and the TP Mazembe Express and FC player. He says of recent he came out to have a peaceful demonstration outside FUFA Uganda House that was in Mengo, only to be intercepted by security, and at the end of the day we saw how he was beaten off. So maybe he has corrected all that anger through his lawyer Henry Biansi to preside with him, so that they have Moses Magogo and FUFA being held accountable for the funds through Right Honorable or Lieutenant Colonel Judith Nakarema, who chairs the State House Anti-Corruption Unit of 2009. So that is all that is happening in FUFA right about now. We go for our commercial break. When we return, we'll be talking about so much more happening in the game of football as well as Formula One. And then from the start, we will start our second episode of the show with Uganda and Uganda Cranes failing to host. Looking somehow, it's coming to confirmation. They haven't made an official announcement, but from the look of the transpirings, Uganda could fail to host the 2022 World Cup qualifiers, besides being given a permission to do so. We will do that when we return from our commercial break.
Now I need a phone. Is that too much to ask?
Aha, manyoli kunshobera. Last time I bought a phone, it died in 3 days. You were here looking. I told you, give me time, I get a quality phone. Really, is that too long to wait? Hey, neighbor, you are at it again. Every time you tell us we are the Miayu, I always told you, the better things are with us. That guy is fake. Nze, you give me his number. I will take him to Edgar Communications.
Yes, gadgets are now inevitably needed in your day-to-day life. Use any chance to grab some for yourself. For Western Uganda and beyond, the only trusted electronics shop is Edgar Communications.
Welcome to Edgar Communications Mbalala. So we sell phones, specifically Techno, Infinix, Eyit, Nokia, Samsung. We have smartphones, we have also button phones. Then we sell TVs, Hisense, LG, Star X. Then we have Fufas, Alip, Jag, and others.
For these and more appliances and accessories, reach them at their shop located in Barara City opposite Shell and Kore, or call them now on 0701 467426 or 0785 356453. By the way, I wanted to ask you, PC wajijao, man, the thing is like so good. Omanyi, I no longer have the other issues. Kadi kuna kugambire. You were saying, I told you, these things you have to get from the people you trust. You see that one I gave you, I got it from Think Innovation. Those guys, even now, that's where I am. I brought mine for service. These guys are so good.
Oh yes, that's true. The only trusted one-stop center for computer solutions in Western Uganda is Think Innovation. Regional leading providers of friendly computers and laptop sales and computer accessories. A hub of specialists in computer repair and maintenance, based at computer training and software installation. Could you be in need of these and more computer services? Reach out to them now at their workshop located in Barara, Bananuka Drive, Western Arcade Building, room AF51, or call them now for instant services via 0753 975042 or 0789 708838.
You're still tuned in to Eyit TV from your different workplaces. I have my friends at Acacia Mall in Kamocha, one of them being Christmas Can. I have friends watching me from watching us from different places of work, including Osbat at his saloon around Mbarara. Then we have Apollo PK, who's tuned in from Kazo at Babu Kenya Outlet. Then we have different names like Tumushabe Franklin. Tumushabe Franklin is tuned in. Tumushabe Franklin is tuned in Shaka. Then we have our very own Crovis. Crovis is tuned in Kamwenje. He never stops tuning to our very show. And we have friends across borders, friends in diaspora, one of them being Roberton Kato Switch, who is tuned in. Then we have Cliff Matedinho. Cliff Matedinho, he's tuning in. We have Tuhamize Samuel in Saudi Arabia, who is catching us live. So we really appreciate you. We pledge to always keep informed on the latest that crosses borders or that transpires in the game of football, tennis, basketball, and so much more. Then you turn Fahad is tuned in. He's asking about Hurricane joining Manchester United. I will be breaking that football gossip in the last segment of the show. Then we have Tumushabe Franklin, who is tuned in, as well as Asingwire Apollo PK, who is saying, I'm thrilled to be here with the Sports King. Oh, the hype is too much. So we really appreciate you. So we return from our commercial break with a story about Uganda World Cup qualifiers. Uganda was supposed to host World Cup 2022 qualifiers, but then it is facing hiccups here and there. So last night, actually in the eve of Wednesday evening, the government has come out to confirm that Uganda risks playing its World Cup 2022 qualifiers from the neighboring countries, one of the favorite being Tanzania and then Kenya. There is a lot that is happening in the Ugandan football, so this one adds up as well. And they say we risk to play from neighboring countries unless the ban that was put on Mandela National Stadium, the ban that was put on by Mandela National Stadium by World Football governing bodies, including FIFA and CAF, unless they lift the ban on the national stadium, we risk playing our qualifiers from neighboring countries. This comes in an instance whereby early last year, that was in May, the football bodies came and toured or supervised the pitch only to come and to bring to our notice that the facilities at Nambore National Stadium were lacking, and they therefore recommended for a total renovation. Talking about the facilities, they pointed out one of them was being the aging pavilion, and then they said the aging pavilion, the stinking toilets, as well as the dressing rooms were in very bad shape, and the World Football governing bodies recommended a total renovation. The Nambole Stadium has been our home ground, has been a ground to the national team since 2002, so that is about 19 years of service. Only for Ari last year, because the country was hit by the overwhelming numbers of COVID-19 patients, so it was transformed into a COVID-19 running facility. It currently hosts a number of COVID-19 patients. So the government has come out to confirm that we face risks to play the qualifiers away from home. The only option for Uganda would be St. Mary's Chitende, much as Chitende passed the standards by the CAF. CAF said Chitende, St. Mary's Stadium Chitende, that is the home ground for Vipers. CAF had passed this very ground to host the competition. So we now pend or await for a nod from the World Cup to confirm whether it will be possible for St. Mary's Stadium Chitende to host the forthcoming qualifiers. However, Chitende as well, they face the issues to do with floodlights, and then FIFA came out and pointed at the poor road network around Chitende, or call it St. Mary's Stadium, so it's also not counted yet. Remember, Uganda Cranes, we are placed in Group E, and we are supposed to play our very own neighbors, that is Kenya and Rwanda in Group E, as well as our distant counterpart called Mali. So today, it was actually yesterday that the sports minister Hamson Obua came out and confirmed that we face the risk of not praying from home. He went on and said that they needed about 96 billion Ugandan shillings, as in 96 billion Uganda shillings, to have a total renovation of Nambore Stadium, to have it ready for the forthcoming World Cup qualifiers. But still, he pointed out that even if the money is released right away, like right now, he says that they have already run out of time. So even if the money could be raised today, we still risk playing these qualifiers from away from home. So this came out when the sports minister Hamson Obua was responding to the concern raised by one Silas Agon, who is the Kumi municipality MP, who came out on the floor of parliament and tasked the Ministry of Sports and Education to come out and clarify why Uganda could face the certainties of hosting World Cup away from home. So that is what is happening still in FUFA and the Uganda football as well. Then still on the Ugandan football, we cross to give you a review of what transpired yesterday in the Ugandan Premier League, whereby URA failed to add up points where they needed about 2 points to lead the table leaders, the current table leaders, who are Vipers, call them the Mary Chitende boys. So URA failed to secure a top flight yesterday after going a goalless draw at Bombo Barracks against Sports Club Villa. So at the end of the 90, there was no much to report about the game. There were no very many chances created, but still the two struck together, locked the horns together to count for a 1 point. Points were shared at Bombo Barracks Stadium, with URA correcting 1 as well as Sports Club Villa correcting 1, denying URA a chance to go on top, where They needed 2 points following a stalemate, a goalless stalemate between table leaders Vipers and Wakiso Giants of 0-0 that happened of late. So then, and in another game, we had KCCA called them Kasasilo Boys or Kampala Capital City Authority. They had visited Mbara City, called them the Ankole Lions, at their very own home grounds in Kacheka yesterday in a match that was so thrilling, whereby we registered a number of chances. The boys of Coach Livingstone Babazi dominated the whole game, including very, very stunning chances, only that they failed to convert any of them. If they did, they would have walked away with 3 points against the Kasasilo Boys. So that means the Kasasilo Boys survived a 6th loss in the competition after having lost 1 to URA and much more in there. So one of the deadliest chances came in the 33rd minute, where the ex-Vipers player Henry Chitegenyi failed to convert a very realistic goal-scoring chance that came in the 33rd minute, when he was set up by a very clinical Innocent Wafula. Then moments later, still Henry Kitegenyi failed to convert a one chance. He failed to convert one chance from corner kick by Peter Magambo, whereby Chelsea Lukwago, the KCCA goalkeeper who had already been beaten, still survived to see a ball inside the back of the net. Still in the game that was in the opening half of the game, KCCA were forced to make a substitution in the first half, whereby their wonder kid Julius Poroto sustained an injury in the early opening minutes of the game. Then just after the break, the Ankole Lions still put up brilliant chance that they would have used to take a lead through Ramadan Karim, but the defenders' headed effort was cleared away by Herbert Anchi. Then later on, towards the end of the game, still Bebe Swalik couldn't find the target after clearance fell to him. So that means much as Mbara City FC kept on mounting pressure on KCCA backline, only for KCCA to come up with somehow very clear chance in 74th minute, when substitute Bashir Mutanda was also set up by Solomon Okwalinga. Then the shot went wide. So at the end of the day, the points were shared, each one of them going 1 point. KCCA going with a point, then Mbara City going with 1 point. So at the end of the 19 minutes, that means that was a 0-0 draw. That 0-0 draw means that KCCA have moved back to the 4th position on 34 points, while the Ankole Lions, KCCA moved to 34 points in the 4th place. They are on level with points with Police FC, who defeated Chitara FC 4-1 on Monday. So Mbara City Football Club, they stay 11th on the Ugandan Premier League logo with only 22 points in the with 22 points in 19 games. Then in the next fixtures, that means KCCA will travel to Green Light Stadium in Arua to visit Onduparaka, while Mbara will host Sports Club Villa again in Kacheka on Saturday. Mbara City will host Sports Club Villa on Saturday, while they as they look forward to push and see that they qualify or get away from the relegation zone in the for the forthcoming Ugandan Premier League, that is in 2021-2022 match calendar. So to look at the table, Vipers is still on the lead, but it is on level with points with Uganda Revenue Authority, the two of them at 43, while Express, the Red Eagles, are on 37 points. That puts them in the 3rd position. Kampala Capital City Authority is at 4th position with 34 points, and Police, actually KCCA and Police are on tally. They are on tie with 34 points. Then crossing borders, we report about Formula 1. Formula One Grand Prix, one of the very main figures of the competition, Lewis Hamilton, has come out to praise the court that has charged or slapped charges, actually 3 charges on a one soldier or a police officer that took part in the death of Black American George Floyd. Sir Lewis Hamilton says the conviction of the former police officer for the killing of George Floyd sounds like a new dawn in the fight for the racial justice. We recap that about 2-3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, we saw a police officer put his knee on George Floyd that was down on ground ranting that how he could not breathe, but this didn't change the mind of police officer who still kept a knee on his chin. Actually, it was around his neck that at the end of the day claimed the life of the Black American. So Lewis Hamilton has come out through his various social media platforms. He actually tweeted saying that this is the first time that a white officer has been convicted for killing a Black American in Minnesota. That is how Lewis Hamilton posted on his Instagram. And the 7-time Formula One world champion Hamilton continues to kneel before the races. Whenever he's going to take on a race, we still see the 36-year-old kneel down in call for Black Lives Matter or in support of Black Lives Matter. And he has gone on to set up a joint charitable foundation with Mercedes so that they promote this diversity of Black Lives Matter. He was not alone in this whole approach of the conviction of the police officer, together with the former 10th world #1 and 12-time women's Grand Slam champion Billie Jean King. She tweeted on her Twitter handle saying that the time to correctively examine the treatment of Black people, in particular the Black boys or men, by some law enforcement is long overdue. She came out and said that this is something that they have cried for a little bit longer to see it happen. So finally it has come out true. So that sounded like good news to the two of them, one Lewis Hamilton and then the 12 times women's Grand Slam champion Billie Jean King. Then away from that we cross to tennis and we report about the Barcelona Open. The Barcelona Open was on last night, where we saw the Spanish top seed Rafael Nadal survived a scare before fighting back to beat Belarusian qualifier Elijah Rafika in the second round of the Barcelona Open. Nadal, who has not lost only clay to an opponent, is ranked outside the world's top 100 since 2004. So last night he recorded a 3-6, 6-2, 6-4, 3-6, 6-2, 6-4. That was against the 111th ranked Ivashika. So that's what transpired last night in the Barcelona Open. So the British #1, Dan Davis, was unable to continue his excellent form on clay while losing to France's Corentin Moutet. That was in a very spiky second round of the Barcelona Open. Then elsewhere, Evans came out and seeded 16th, who is currently seeded 16th. He lost. Evans, who is ranked 16th, lost 6-4, 5-7, and 5-3. 6-4, 5-7, and 6-3. So the pair didn't even shake hands actually the pair shook hands at the net before another frank of exchange of words, having disagreed earlier in this match and had previously during a US Open encounter last year. So that's what transpired. Meanwhile, before we move away from the Barcelona Open that transpired, we saw the Italian ninth seed call him Fabio Fognini was defaulted from his second round match for abusing a line judge. So he went out and lost it on disciplinary grounds, and he was defaulted in second round match. The 33-year-old, who has had a history about the on-court disciplinary problems, he angrily smashed a racket as he walked off, and having seen Spanish opponent Bernab Zapata Miralles progress at his expense. So the 33-year-old, he was defaulted because of his continued disciplinary action, and at his own expense, we saw Bernab Zapata Miralles progress to the next round. So we will keep you informed about what happens in tennis. That is about Barcelona Open. We pray that we will keep you informed. Then crossing to Premier League, there was action last night whereby Tottenham Hotspurs beat up Southampton with 2-1, and the other side, Aston Villa lost to the table leaders Manchester City. So the league resumes tonight with a couple of fixtures, including Leicester. So we will keep you informed through our various social media platforms so that you know who takes on who at what time and what that game means for the two parties. Then as we come to an end, we cross to Europe Super League. About 12 teams that had shown interest in taking part, including Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, with the exception of French's PSG and Borussia Dortmund, and actually Germans Bayern Munich, who from day one turned out offers to play in the anticipated league. Last night we saw an official confirmation of about 9 clubs completely withdrawing away from the anticipated competition. Right about now, 9 out of the 12 teams have withdrawn legally and formally, and they have gone on to publish on their platforms the official statements. Coaches, managers, and the board have come out to ask players and fans forgiveness about the formal intentions of appearing in the anticipated run. Then apparently only Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus have not withdrawn, but the Juventus chairman Andre Agnelli has said that the project could now not proceed. Then as we come to the end of our show today, we listen from your comments from our social media platforms. We have Utan Fahad is asking about if Hurricane is on brink of joining Manchester United. Then we have Tumushabe Franklin. He's saying, in time for sports, thank you brother for always following. Then Asingwiri Apollo is on, thrilled. Then Atwine Omohinda Jr. we shall look into your issue and everything will be rectified. So talking about the gospel as it is happening in the world of football, call it the world of transfers in particular. Today we heard from the Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel, who understands that 23-year-old Tammy Abraham is really feeling worried and angry about the situation. You come to realize that following the signatures of Timo Werner and Olivier Giroud from Arsenal, Tammy Abraham has had very few chances of fronting or leading the front line of Chelsea FC to score goals. So he has not been given a number of appearances for Chelsea. So it's from that very condition that he has submitted that he could transfer or present a transfer letter to the board, allowing him to go out and seek green pastures where he'll be getting regular football. Then in Real Madrid, the president Florentino Perez, he says that they will not be able to sign PSG's striker Kylian Mbappe, neither will they approach Borussia Dortmund to sign their Norwegian 20-year-old Erling Haaland. These are the two kids making rounds in the game of football. Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, given the letters brilliant performance against Bayern Munich in the just concluded round of 16. Then elsewhere, Portugal midfielder Bruno Fernandes, there are reports that he could commit his future one more time to Manchester United. If the 20-year-old Paul Pogba, whose contract runs out in 22, does the same. So Bruno Fernandes is saying that if Paul Pogba comes out to renew his contract before 2022 clocks, that he is also willing and able to sign the same. Then elsewhere in the English side, Wolves, they say they have started looking at potential replacements for the manager Nuno Espirito Santo in case the 47-year-old leaves the club or leaves Morink's club in the summer. Then away from that, the Brazilian midfielder Willian, who is 32 years of age right now, he says that he has ambitions of playing in the United States. He has ambitions in playing in the United States, but still say after Arsenal that he will only cross to United States after helping Arsenal, after enabling Arsenal to at least win something. Talking about winning something, Arsenal faces off again in the European League action. That will be around 29th. That is next week. There is Thursday night football. That's where the only hope for Arsenal stands in. So Willian has come out and said he has ambitions in playing in United States, but only after he has helped Arsenal to carry something on their back. Then Leicester and Arsenal have both shown interest in signing the Italy under 21 midfielder, that is Samuel Ricci, that is 19 years old, from the side B side of Italy, called it Empoli. Then elsewhere, Burnley and Newcastle, they all remain attentive in the pursuit to sign Benfica fullback Nuno Traves. Nuno Traves, who is 21, has been approached by Burnley and Newcastle to have him come to England. Then Leeds United are keeping their eyes on Ryan Kent. So much as Ryan Kent still has plans to stay at Rangers. So that is so much more that we had today for you. We do this again on Monday. Only that preparations are underway. We could have an in-depth football discussion tomorrow. We will keep you informed if that happens. We will keep you informed so that you come join us and push this show to the next level. For now, we are glad you listened in, you tuned in. We don't take you for granted. From me and the entire team that I've worked with, one of them including my very own Henry Kabuga. Henry Kabuga is my producer. Then the big men in office, one of them including Sankala Biaruhanga Magezi and Ronald. Everyone at Eyit TV is glad that you are listening to us. You watch us from wherever, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. We do this again on Monday next week. Keep following our social media platforms. We will and we pledge that you'll always be kept informed with what happens latest or the cream of information that happens in the world of sports. From me and the entire team, we say thank you, and to our Muslim friends, we continue saying Ramadan Karim. Yeah, Tebiba Byangu, but keep in there. May Allah listen to your duas. Are they called dua or something? Your prayers. So we really count on you. That marks the end of today's show. We do this again next week. From your show host, I will be Elioda and
Eyit Sports.
Baby, you promised to buy me a TV and you did not. Now I need a phone. Is that too much to ask?
Aha, Manyoni kunshobera. Last time I bought a phone, it died in 3 days. You were here looking. I told you, give me time, I get a quality phone. Really, is that too long to wait? Neighbor, you are it again. Every time you tell us we are the Miayu, I always told you the better things are with us. That guy is fake. So you give me his number, I will take him to Edgar Communications.
Yes, gadgets are now inevitably needed in your day-to-day life. Using the chance to grab some for yourself. For Western Uganda and beyond, the only trusted electronics shop is Edgar Communications. Eyit Sports. More appliances and accessories, reach them at their shop located in Barara City opposite Shell and Kore, or call them now on 0701 467426 or 0785 356453. By the way, I wanted to ask you, PC wajijao. Man, the thing is like so good. Umani, I no longer have the other issues. Kadi kuna kukambia. You were saying, I told you, these things you have to get from the people you trust. You see that one I gave you, I got it from Think Innovation. Those guys, even now, that's where I am. I brought mine for service. These guys are so good. Eyit Sports.
Oh yes, that's true. The only trusted one-stop center for computer solutions in Western Uganda is Think Innovation, regional leading providers of friendly computers and laptop sales and computer accessories. Our specialists in computer repair and maintenance, basic computer training and software installation. Could you be made of these and more computer services? Reach out to them now at their workshop located in Barara, Banaluka Drive, Western Cape Union, room AF51, or call them now for instant services via 0753 975042 or 0789 7088.
Eyit Sports.
And maybe you